We are focusing on the upper semis. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the French Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, arguably the best Protoss in all of Europe. Representing Team Liquid, it is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Liquid as well as their teammates. It is Cure. Here we go. If you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Again, Clem, there isn't a Terran player out there that hasn't lost to Clem's Protoss, except for Maru. Maru, he's the only one that hasn't lost to it, but that's only because they haven't played. They haven't played, as Maru does not play in online tournaments, so we've yet to see that dynamic at least. But for the most part, Clem, he has proven his worth here in PvT. He's terrifying, and we'll see if Cure can survive the Clem. The Clem? Let's go. Imagine 2 Zerg switching to Protoss to avoid ZVZ. That already happened. I recommend the VODs on YouTube, but we casted Lily Cup. We casted Lily Cup in January, and we casted Dark versus Raynor. And if you remember, those are 2 players that I mentioned. Dark has been playing Protoss to avoid ZVZ. Raynor also been playing Protoss to avoid ZVZ, and they played a PvP. That did happen. Dark and Raynor, they played a PvP that was in Lily Cup in January, so that's already occurred. Just eventually, all things lead to Protoss. That's just where we are. Smurge, papi, smurge. All roads lead to Protoss. So shout out to Raynor and Dark for making that happen. I could be mistaken. Did the same thing happen with Oliver and Clem? Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. But Oliver, he was also playing Protoss as well, and I don't think they had a PvP. They might have, though. They might have. I'd have to recheck Lily Cup as well. For now, though, gonna be settling in. For now, we do have double gas open out of Cure. Cure going for a much more aggressive start into a faster factory, and we'll see what this leads into. This can lead into Reactor Reaper Hellion. This can lead into early Cyclone, into a Starport, into early Tech Labs, into Tank Drop. So we'll keep an eye on Cure. As across the map, we have a standard opener out of Clem into Twilight Council. For those that haven't seen Clem's Protoss, he's very mid-game oriented. He's very much so mid-game oriented. He enjoys going 3-gate Blink into Charge, very gateway heavy. And something that does translate for Clem is his control. His unit control here is Blink Micro, his Stutter Stepping, his Prism Micro as well is top tier. It's, again, very, very scary, is what I will say. Very impressive. And in general, I mean, a lot of Protoss units are very microable. There's a lot of spell caches involved as well, so it is something that Clem does make full use of in that mid-game. Likewise, Double Adept does get across the map, delaying the CC. Reaper Hellion into the main, getting a full scout. Will disrupt the economy. How many probes can we get? So we get 1 so far, we get 1, we get 2. 2 probe kills, getting to 3. So far, very nice damage here out of Cure. He's going to be shut down, but he will get a final 4th worker before the end. And Cure, did he scout the tech? He barely did not. Ooh, he barely did miss that Twilight Council. Is not aware if it's a Stargate or not. He can make an assumption. Again, it is very common for Clem to play Twilight Council, but Cure is a little bit in the dark. Meanwhile, we have the follow-up. Those Reaper Hellion into drop across the map, as the medevac has arrived. Likewise, Clem threatening a shade. Medevac is spotted. Hellions, they avoid the adepts. They headed towards the mineral line. And we'll see if Cure can get some damage as he is moving out. Does move out. Clem is trading well, takes down 1, takes down 2 Marines, and he will gain control of the low ground. At the same time, Hellions, they bust into the main. 2 Hellions, they can 2-shot probes. Oh. Ooh. So they do get 2 of them. 2 probes go down, but at the same time, Clem taking control of the low ground. Runs the SCVs, but the tank has arrived, and with that, the tank should hold. So Cure, he will hold on. Ooh, tank volley goes off. And I would say that Cure comes out better in the mid-game. Looking at the install stat here, Cure, he has killed 7 probes in total, did lose a massive portion of his army, that is true, but Hellion Reaper doesn't scale well into a longer game anyway, so you want to get rid of the Hellion Reaper. Did lose 6 Marines, but overall has the better economic game state. Clem getting to a third. Cure throwing down extra Vaxes, getting to his 3-1-1 setup. And we'll see what Clem can accomplish, because Clem, he now has Blink. Now, I believe, yep, only 3 gates. So 3 gate Blink out of Clem. He can poke in, but so far, Cure, he's very well set up. He's got 2 tanks, he has the bunker, he has the Sim City. He's walled up. Oh, we go for the dive. Does go for the dive anyway. 1 Stalker goes down. Stalker for a tank. Better trade for Clem. And better trade for the Protoss. Prism was targeting down the bunker was targeting down the Prism the entire time. Prism gets low, but the Prism does not go down. And now there's 1 tank left. Now getting a second. Dives in. Tank holding goes off. Cure, he's holding onto his main. Same time, Raven into the main base as well. Gets another 3 probes. Clem is taking a lot of economic damage. And he will lose another Stalker. Another Stalker goes down. So far, Cure, he is a wall. But the tank did move out of position. Well, Marines are falling, one after the other. Getting all 4 Marines. Delays the gas geyser. Nice control here by Clem. Does trade well towards the end. He's off the Marines, gets an SCV, delays the gas. Behind this, third base is getting up and running. And as we mentioned, it is very common here to see Clem go 3 gate Blink into +1 and charge. So into a Swarm Toss style is what Clem is going for. Into his Mass Gate. He will eventually get into splash damage, but his Colossus or his Storm are going to be delayed. Delayed in favor of a charge. Cure, he is stuck at home, at least until Sim finishes. Once the upgrade's complete, he can now move out and then expand and take his third. Third CC is halfway done, but it'll soon be taken. We always spoke about that splash damage. It's going to be the Bay. It's going to be Colossus. So Colossus on the horizon here for Clem. He's getting ready for a Zealot run by or a Zealot drop into the main. The Prism is still quite low. That's going to be a factor. But once Cure moves out, Clem is ready to punish. He's ready to move in. He will take his third base. At last, Clem is in position to punish. We'll see if he can. Tanks are sieged. Clem, he commits in. Does commit in. Takes out 1 tank. He gets 1. He gets 2. But the third tank will stand strong. And Cure holds. Cure, he holds. Now, what's important here is that Clem, he mainly lost Zealots. So very expendable losses. Very expendable army, I should say. Affordable losses. As he does throw away those Zealots. You see Cure building up. Moving to move out. Coming in from the south. Secure tells me forward. Nope. Cure, he avoids the main army. We're out of position. Uh-oh. Cure, he moves out, and Clem, he just kills the base. He just gets the third. And we're going for the base trade, but it's a late base trade for Cure. Clem, he's already here. Denies the third base, goes for the recall. Ooh, recalls on top of the army. This I'm not so sure about. Recall does complete. Boys are being pulled. And can he get on top of the tank? The tank is going to be targeted down. Ooh, but at a cost. Oh no! Colossus misrallies into the main army. Clem is falling apart in the defense. But last, just Marines left, just Marauders. Hopping up, doesn't save the Immortal. Yeah, very close fight. As Clem did lose the base. But Clem is holding. He's holding on. He has a Colossus behind this. Does have the Colossus. Another Stalker goes down. Colossus is vulnerable to those Vikings. Down to 2 Stalkers left. Use those Warpins. They're going to be slow Warpins. Sure, he can take this game, but the army's overstimmed. Yeah, the army's heavily overstimmed. There's 2 Vikings that have a lot of work to do. Oh, they get 1 Colossus. 1 Colossus goes down. But Clem, he holds. He does hold on, takes down the final medevac. This army, it's trapped. He has to fight. Oh my god. The swipes are brutal. Yeah, and Curious being chased down. Lose the Vikings, the Marines, the Marauders, everything. This barely pulls away, barely escapes. Clem, he's so close to breaking Cure. He saved the command center. Does retake it. Marauders are being targeted. Likewise, Clem retaking his own 3rd. Zone 3 base saturation. Very tense. Very tense game state. The Marauders hold the line, but we need some Zealot reinforcements. Where's the Prism? There is none. No War Prism. No reinforcements on the front line. Nice force fields. Locking down the Marauders. Colossus just shell away at that mineral line. Oh my god, they get so many shots up on the bio as well. And nice control. Does better at those mine shots. Trading as best as he can. Army's moving in. Cure being forced further back. Still building up that Marauder count. And Cure's forced to expand elsewhere. Does take the linear 3rd. Stalker's moving in. Again, a couple of key snipes. Nice control there by Clem. 3rd Colossus has arrived. And now he can break through. He can break through this army. Yeah, the bio just melts before the Colossus with 3 Colossus of 4. Oh my god, okay. 3rd Colossus now running in. And it's just too much Protoss. Here he cannot hold on. His army's crumbling, pulling back to the bunker. Bunker goes down as well. Repair's not in time. And the Colossus, they reign supreme. It was a crazy base trade, don't get me wrong. It was crazy, it was insane. I wasn't too convinced by the recall, but in the end, Clem took the fight. And GG gets called. Clem, he overwhelms. He takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Clem does take lead in the series. And we'll see if Cure can bounce back. We shall see. We shall see. Again, a very intense game state there. Again, the base trade was crazy. It was a crazy base trade. It was in favor of Clem. I wasn't too convinced by the recall just because he recalled on top of the army, and we did see Clem throw one of his Colossus away in that recall when he just walked across the map and he just rallied the Colossus into the army as well. So there were some rough moments there for Clem, but despite that, he still dealt enough damage. He was able to preserve those Colossus and deal with the bio army. GG. GG, well played. Whew. As that leads us into game number 2. I've noticed that Clem seems to be very on top of focusing on Vikings in order to protect the Colossus. In general, his blink control is really good. If you notice, he's good at focusing down either Vikings or Widow Mines or Marauders. Like, his just attention to detail is definitely there for Clem. I don't know if you noticed, but for most of those mine shots, he would always, like, at the last second, pull away his zealots and bait out the mine shots, so the Widow Mines were getting minimal damage. Likewise, was also just so important on just targeting down those Marauders as well, punishing the army. He, if you notice, was individually targeting his, I should say he was manually targeting the Colossus shots. Instead of the typical A-move Colossus shots on the bio army, he was actually focusing down like the backline of Marines to get the most value as possible to kill the Marine army or to snipe the Marine line as well. Just a lot of like attention to that like army control from Clem. It's crazy. But here we go, we're getting into our next game, and spawning in the top right hand corner of ley lines, we have our French Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is Cure. There we go. Something he seems to pay more attention to than a lot of the other Protoss players. I would argue that might just be a translation of just how fast he is as a player. We were kind of mentioning it at the start of the game, but Protoss as a race has just a lot of micro potential. I think there's been a lot of discussion, especially a couple of months ago, about the Protoss race and about how right now there's a lot of room for improvement from players like Hero, players like MaxPax, where if you watch their games, if they ever like, even they themselves admit that there's always like something that they can do better, right? There's always like more micro, there's more potential, there's more unit control, like there's always an area to improve for them as pro players, where it feels like the ceiling has yet to be hit, and it feels like Clem, he's also kind of like he's like flourishing kind of in that space as well, just because there's just so much unit control available to Protoss units, whether it's Blink, whether it's a Colossus, whether it's Disruptors, Storm, like there's a lot there. And it seems like that's an area in Protoss where Clem is thriving. Is unit control, or army control, right? Here we go. That's where I'm going to be falling back. So far, we have our initial openers. Once again, double gas. Double gas opener is a faster factory from Cure into a delayed CC. So a more aggressive start. Now, we saw that this led last game into early Reaper Hellion harass, and I would say that Cure had a better early game. If you remember, he killed 7 probes. He killed 7 workers at the start of the game with his Reaper Hellion harass. I would say that did give him an edge coming into a longer game state. In the end, the lead didn't really matter as much because we ended up in a base trade, but it was a successful start, and we'll see if Cure can achieve that again. But now the Adept gets across the map, delays the CC, pulls away the SCV, and we are building up that Reaper Heli. I wonder how much Clem benefits from all of his experiences and what Protoss tactics feels most annoying against a Terran player. Kind of. I mean, I guess in a way that's kind of applicable to all the players at off-race. Like, there's a reason why the players right now that do switch races to avoid mirror matchups, what's important is that because they're avoiding the mirror matchup, they're playing against their own race, and that's where they can excel, right? Like, that's where Raynor, he knows the ins and outs from the other side in PvZ, Clem the same with PvT, Dark the same in PvZ, right? Like, that's most likely one of the reasons why they're only switching races to play against their own race, more so than playing the other matchups. I'm sure that's a factor. I'm sure it's a benefit that they do have as a result. Meanwhile, Reapers, they do tip in. So far, 2 pro kills, not bad. Can we get a third? We can! 3 probes do fall. And a Stalker as well. Very nice trades here from Cure. Gets Stalker, the Hellions to survive. As he was dipping into the bases, I believe, did he scout the tech? He did not see the tech, but again, Clem, he's not really one to play Stargate. So we can make an assumption. He saw the Stalkers as well. So it's going to be Blink. And how many gateways? 3 so far. So 3 gate Blink into a third. This is the same build 2 games in a row from Clem. So far, it is the same build. Cure, he is rallying across the map, moving out with an early tank and an early Liberator. Hyper aggression here from Cure. Very committed. And remember, Clem, he's expanding. He doesn't see the army. He's out of position. No shield battery at the natural. He doesn't know. He's not ready. He's not ready for this. And Cure, can he get a fast one over on Clem? Does boost in. He's got 2 tanks. It's all or nothing for Cure. Sneaks up on the gateway. Gateway's going to fall. Knocking Clem down to 2 gates. We can only warp in 2 units at a time. Clem trying to skirt around. Trying to get behind the army. Boys being pulled away. More Marines are rallying in. Charge only just now began. Charge is not going to be a factor. And Clem, he evacuates the natural. We're stuck on a 1 base economy. The robot gets depowered. And Clem is in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble here. And Curi's looking to force that ace match. As we are setting up for the surround. Liberation has arrived. As Stalkers, they dive in. They get their first tank. But the losses are brutal. The second tank is barely going to fall. But the Bio Army still standing strong. Does Cure still have enough? Up, up. Oh my god. Barely trying to trade. He gets another Stalker. He gets one, he gets two. Two more Stalkers go down, but Clem, he holds. Clem, he does hold on. Without those tanks, without the Liberator, there's just not much here to defend, or not much here to attack, I should say. And Clem, he will clean this up and survive. Again, very patient defense there by Clem to get the full surround to target down those tanks. I believe the Liberator did make it out. Yep, the Liberator did survive, but the tanks did not. And once the tanks went down, that was the end of the push. That was the end of the aggression. And Clem, he saves the third, and he saves the natural. And he saves the Robo. That I'm surprised by. Robo did survive. Liberator gets thrown away. And we have a game. We have a back and forth. Now, from the side of Cure, he was very committed. He's now taking up Stim, Combat Shields. I'm curious if Cure will go for a third CC, or if he pulls the Voids. He has an option. There it is. And we have the answer, third CC. So Cure, he is not going for the all-in. He is going to be expanding behind this, going for his own third base. I do give the edge to Clem, as Clem is already on a 3-base economy. That move that was designed to kill, and it didn't. Did cripple in a way, did do some damage, but didn't really touch the economy too much. So I give the edge to Clem coming into the mid-game. He's working towards his bay. Charge is already done. +1 on the horizon. Clem has gained map control, and he's pushing out. We go. Bjorn's boys would have been making bunkers. True, he would have pulled the boys back. Would have pulled all the boys. Fortunately, Bjarni got knocked out in the quarterfinals. Bjarni's not here for that. Meanwhile, Zels, they do dive into the main. Distracting Cure, but no major damage. As Zels do go down. There's still that one Zealot, though, denying mining time. Let's go. Oh, it does catch a Prism. Very nicely done here. Clem does overextend. It does fly too close to the sun. Does get burned. Now, without that Warp Prism, that means there's no counterattack. There's no warping potential into the main base. Cure, he's free to push. He is free to move out, and he goes straight for it. As that Prism was designed to keep to keep Cure busy. And Clem's in a bit of trouble. He does miss the rotation, just now spots the army. And that base is so exposed. The fourth base is exposed. There's a cancel. Clem, he cannot save it. Moving in with the Colossus. Does dive in. Oh, getting on top of the tanks. First tank does go down. And can he get the other tanks that laid to siege? Ooh, they do siege up though. Massive volleys on the Colossus. Colossus is going to go down. And Clem, he's up against the wall. Lost the base, lost the Colossus. Curie's going for the kill. He's moving in for the kill here. Getting within range of the Nexus. There's barely anything to defend. Colossus rocks up. But with 2 tanks sieged, Clem, he cannot touch this. He cannot move in. And Curie may not have killed Clem with the first wave, but with the second wave, he's breaking through. And again, all came down to that War Prism. If it wasn't for that, Cure wouldn't be here. He would not be here. As he breaks through the Zealots, the Stalkers, the Colossus, and the third. GG gets called, and Curie ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. We are going to game 3. And again, it just shows how important, how imperative it is to have something to threaten the Terran player to keep them pinned back. Remember, Cure, he wasn't all in. Cure, he was getting a third CC. He was building up towards a longer game state. But as soon as that War Prism was killed, there was an opening. As soon as it was killed, there was an opening, there was an opportunity. Cure, he went for it instantly, went across the map. And it wasn't just that, but also Clem, he missed the move out. If you remember, his army was on the right-hand side at the third location. He was not at the left-hand side. He was not at that ramp, so he didn't see the move out until it was already on Clem's side of the map. Until it was too late. until it was too late. GG, well played. We're going to game 3. Let's go. Let us go. And game 3 is going to be on Amygdala. We'll see how this story ends. As Amygdala is going to be one of the larger maps in the map pool. One of the more mech-oriented maps as well. Here we go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the French Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Liquid being forced into a tied series. We'll see if he can bounce back and make it to those finals. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player representing Team Liquid from land South Korea, tying up the series. Momentum is on his side. It is Cure. Here we go. Here we go. Great game so far today. Always, Bobby, always. STJ. Always, Bobby. As we have once again another double gas opener. Now, as we have seen, double gas opener can lead into a couple different aggressive builds. This can lead into Reactor Reaper Hellion, can lead into Banshee, can lead into Cyclone Tank, or even a committed tank drop, which is what we saw last game. So Curie has options with how aggressive he wants to be. Does have options. Likewise, Clem most likely is going to open up Twilight Council once again. I will say that Stargate play is a little bit more viable here on Amygdala, but Clem is just not really a Stargate player. It's not really his go-to. Does enjoy migrating, controlling those Blink Stalkers and Charge Lots and a Gateway Army. And the Probe Scout is denied. Clem, he doesn't see what's going on. For all he knows, there could be a CC further back in the main. There could be a command center. Or there could be a factory. Clem is in the dark. Let's pull back. And we'll see how this all comes together. Cure is going for the CC on the high grounds, but a later CC, of course. Command center is on the way. Opening up initially with the Reaper Hellion. And so far, he's been relatively successful when it comes to his Reaper Hellion Harass, both in Game 1 and in Game 2. Ooh. Okay, that is Factory right into the Tech Lab. I'm feeling a Cyclone here. This looks like Cyclone into Starport into Tank. Are we going for a tank drop? Our eyes are on Cure. Eyes are on Cure here. There's the first Cyclone. No shot. Cyclone into third CC. A Cure. Hyper Greed. Being a hyper greedy here. Insanely fast third CC here. The natural's not even done. Before the natural's even done, we have a third CC on the way. That's how greedy Cure is being. Björn, is that you? Again, Björn is quite fond of this build. Last season, we saw Björn do this almost every game on Site Delta. Almost every game in this matchup in TVP. So very cheeky move here by Cure. We'll see if he can get away with it. Again, with a fast third CC like this will give you a very, very big advantage in the mid game. It takes a while for it to kick in because it takes a while to take the expansion, but making 3 SCVs at a time early on will snowball out of control in that mid game with a massive army supply lead. The pressure is now on Clem to punish. How many gates? We have 1 gateway done. We have 2 gates on the way. It's going to be 3 gate blink. And Clem, he has yet to really confirm what's going on. He's now moving out within the depths, but Clem is in the dark. Oh! Reaper dips in. Reaper dips in. It is going to be zoned away. Does get eyes on the robo, is aware of the blink-based opener. Good night. Buenas noches. Buenas noches. Good night. Good night. Buenas noches. Also, someone in the chat earlier. More views on Twitch. Yeah, typically for live broadcasts, we have more viewership on Twitch, but then our VODs gain a little more traction on YouTube. Typically how it goes. But we're growing both platforms, of course. That is the plan. Speaking of, Cure also growing when it comes to his third base. The CC, the orbital's already done. He has triple mules, triple SCV production. Building up towards that mid game. And at Clem, he's just going 3-gate into a third base. He still doesn't know. Right now, the pressure needs to be on the Protoss player to be aggressive, but he's missing that window. He's missing that window, he's missing that opportunity. The the observer is going to dip in, and we'll get eyes on the production. He will see the racks. Oh, but he gets caught out. He gets caught out. He doesn't confirm the scouts. He doesn't know. He still doesn't know the timing of that CC. For all he knows, it could be a starport further back. So Cure, he's getting away with it. So far, he's getting away with it. He will have an advantage. And Clem, he needs to delay the third for as long as possible. Stalkers are moving out. Never mind, he's only taking control of the Zelnagas. So he doesn't move out across the map. He's being more defensive, which is exactly what Cure wants. Now, if Clem had gone for 4-gate blink, if he was more assertive, more aggressive, then Cure would have been in trouble, 100%. He would have been in trouble here. He would have struggled to keep up and defend early on, but he's gotten past that.
Research complete.
Observer rotates. The observer will get eyes on the CC that's already complete, floating over. Clem, he responds. But I worry this is too late. Clem, he's rotating over here, but the army is somewhat in position. Cure, he should be able to maintain that third. Clem, he's poking in. He needs some kind of damage. Gets an SCV. Gets a Marine. So far, just 2 units. Clem, he's rushing to a 4th. He needs that 4th base now. But as he's getting into a 4th base, Curie moves out with a double drop. Clem, he pulls away. Is in position as well. He's got his charge slots. Spots the drop. He's aware. He knows it's coming. He responds with everything he has. And he will save the 4th. Okay. Whew. He will save the 4th expansion. So we have a back and forth. Cure still has a lead. And it's about to really come into high gear. So far the supplies are neck and neck. But the third base is just now getting saturated. Takes down a Stalker. Made that local range was crazy. Clem, can he collapse on this before the siege? Zelze charge in, tanks now sieging up. They're going to be exposed and they're going down one after the other. Massive pickoffs. He gets all 3 tanks. Very nice engage. Cure caught with his pants down. Caught barely unsieged. And with that, Clem takes a better fight. Takes a better fight. Now there's 0 tanks left. Now he can collapse on the army. Watch just going up. Getting on top of the fire. And Clem is holding. Clem, he's holding on. Again, Cure, he got caught out. Very important fight here for Clem. Before Cure really gets out of control with his army, he gets shut down. So shut down the Colossus. Good. Colossus moves in. Does pull back here. Vikings trying to focus down. They do get the Colossus. Not bad. Colossus does fall. Very close fight here. But the Bio army, we're running out. It's running out of Marines. Running out of Bio. The mine shots. Oh my god. Brutal connections. Well, Clem, once again, he holds. Does hold, does preserve his army. Building up his Colossus count. Likewise, Cure also working towards his Ghost Academy as well. There's not enough left over to keep pushing, so both players, they back off, they deflect, they build back up. And more importantly, Clem, he saves the 4th base. The importance of all these engagements, all these fights, catching out the tanks, engaging here out on the map as well, is to protect the 4th. It's all for the 4th base, and it is fully operational. It's fully up and running, and our 5th is on the way. Clem looking good. Cure now getting his 4th CC. Getting his 4th base. Dark Shrine for Clem. The liquid on liquid violence. Oh no. We're all getting wet. Aye. As Cure is just fortifying himself, getting to a second starport into Mass Viking to maintain air control. Let's maintain. Clem is rallying. Is rallying over. Cure, he might need a little bit more time to build back up. That's a lot of zealots. That's a lot of charge loads. The prism has arrived to reinforce. Couple mine shots do go up. Oh, sorry, no war prism. Just an immortal. Actually, the prism was coming in. Despite that, still pushing forward. Still gaining ground. The defensive setup here is a little bit lackluster for Cure. Does Kai back though. Kite's away. Clem getting ready for a zealot run by. Going for a split push. Now with that 5th base on the way, Clem can now afford a double rover production, getting to disruptors. And the goal should be just to contain Cure on 3 bases for as long as possible. As Zealot's actually coming for the full surround. It collapses on the army. Takes down one of the ghosts. EMP pops up. Oh, the choke point is brutal. The Zealot cannot really commit. But the Colossus, they just rain down on the army. Oh my god. The lasers, they shut down everything. The bio army melts. And Clem, has he done it? Has he broken through? It looks like he has. We'll lose all his Colossus, true. Barely any anti-air. The Vikings, they go to town on the Colossus. And they'll hunt down the final Colossi as well. But Zealots, they break the expansion. They get onto the bunker. Boys are being pulled to repair, but Zealots, they just keep on rallying in. And Clem, he's done it. He has done it. Cure, he cannot keep up. Not anymore. The surround was brutal. And again, a lot of it came down to the fights out on the map. These fights here were so crucial for Clem to catch out Cure before he built up, and likewise to protect his expansion. And with that, GG gets called, and Clem, he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Much better fights, much better engagements there for Clem, catching Cure out. Yes, even though Cure did go into a faster 3rd TC, I want to say that Cure was premature. I want to say he was a little bit premature when it came to his pushes, when it came to his move outs. He was caught with his pants down time and time again. Clem was able to take better fights overall, and with that, overwhelm Cure, gain map control, and pull him apart. Pull him apart then and there. Again, Cure didn't really have much defenses back at home. He didn't really have much to fortify himself. As there were no bunkers, there were no tanks, there were minimal widow mines, as they were being shut down time and time again. GG. GG, well played. Phew. Clem, he found an opening, and with that, we have our finalists here. We have our top 2 in this week's PiGosaur Monday. It's a rare sight. Typically, we see players like Björn, like Hero, like Cure, but tonight, we have the return of MaxPax and Clem. I don't know if they've ever played in the finals of PiGosaur Monday. Let me just double check that. But MaxPax did take down Hero 2-1. Hero did barely fall. Cure also got shut down by Clem. And with that, we have MaxPax and Clem. So, double checking here. In 2024, they never played in the finals. In 2025, they also never played. Okay, for the first time in PiGosaur Monday, we have MaxPax versus Clem. Again, they usually don't meet in the finals. Usually another player does knock the other out, and as a result, we see a different pairing in the finals, or they just don't sign up at the same time. Again, it's a really rough time zone or time slot right now for the European region, but for whatever reason here tonight, the stars have aligned.